Welcome to FR Racing's Garage Talk Weekend Recap. I'm DJ Flook.
I'm Eric Richardson.
This episode is powered by Simply Safe. Protect your gear, especially if spending all that money on sim racing stuff. You want it protected. Protect your own. Simply Safe. FRRacingOnline.com/Simply Safe. Now we got that plug out of the way. Atlanta. NASCAR
Yeah.
went back to Atlanta, and that was an interesting weekend.
Yeah, I missed most of it except I caught the last 23 laps while riding on a boat.
That's interesting place to watch a race, or at least part of the race.
Yeah, no, it was actually a live stream on TikTok.
You got the bootleg race on TikTok. That's awesome.
I got to watch.
Thank you, TikTok. All right. Yeah, the highlights of the race were Kyle Larson. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I haven't heard yet. I gotta see what comes out. I haven't been able to listen to an interview with him yet. I know he's given it.
Hard lick into the wall, took out Chase Briscoe, also a playoff driver in the process.
Yeah, Briscoe was a little bit further back and
just couldn't get out of the way.
Then I guess didn't know where the car was and maybe the spotter issue. I don't know.
Yeah.
But just plowed into the back end of him.
And Briscoe said he's surprised like he didn't hurt his leg because he said like stuff came through the floorboard and
ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, he said he's amazed that he walked out of there unhurt today, which I guess
if stuff's coming into the car, that's really lucky.
Yeah, so rough day for them. Other note is the MVP of the race was the Walmart sign that fell down.
Yeah, that's wild. We're 10 laps to go, and it's like, caution, what happened?
And then
they're showing like, wait, that's a Walmart sign.
You're thinking it's somebody's like, rear panel rip off or something and lay on the track.
No,
and then
it's a straight up ad.
Nope, that was the Walmart sign hanging above the track. And like,
it's funny, they ripped down the Quaker State one after.
Yeah, as Lee Diffie said, is the preventative ripping down the other side of the Walmart. And I guess something like that happened at Charlotte too, which is another SMI track. I just hanging those ads above, that just seems like that should happen more often than it does.
Nothing should be over the racing surface, as we saw at Barber at the IndyCar race.
As for those that don't remember, the doll, the life-size doll, like fell from a bridge, and Scott McLaughlin ran over the hand.
He ran over the hand.
It's crazy stuff. So goes to overtime
this year.
So you have a caution for the Walmart sign, then you have a late caution for Noah Gragson.
He hit the wall hard too.
He had a hard lick too, and then you have the big wreck on the coming out of, well, it was turn 4, turn 3, turn 4. Just a huge mess, and I don't.
Yeah, a lot of cars involved in that.
I don't think that would have, if they would have let him run to the line, I don't think it would have changed anything. I think Logano.
Logano was far enough out. Maybe those like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots, like until you get to wreck, maybe you get one position difference in there because you get the run off of 4 and a draft. But I'm glad it didn't take away from like a 3 wide finish like we saw in the spring race.
Yeah, and on that last restart, you had a first 2 rows of teammates. So you had Blaney pushing Logano. You had Chastain, who's a non-playoff driver, pushing Suarez, the playoff driver, who won the race in the spring, by the way. So it's like, oh, this is going to be good. Whoever gets the better launch may end up winning this thing. And
Chastain just couldn't hold that high line.
He couldn't hold the line. He was all over the place, and then he just kind of slid back.
I think that last lap he drifted up into the wall and won, and just for whatever reason his car didn't work at that point.
Well, and Denny Hamlin was off pace all weekend, and like for early on in the race, he's like running 34th. He's back there with like BJ McLeod.
NASCAR got mad at him.
He was way off pace, but he ended up not having a bad finish. I don't think
he got collected in that.
Oh, he did get collected. That's right. So he was up there towards the top 10 before he got collected in that mess.
Definitely an interesting shift in the playoff standings now.
We have
you had a lot of contenders get caught up in stuff and finish at the back.
Yep. So you have Logano clinched, moving on.
Yep.
Blaney, Bell, Reddick, Byron, Bowman, Cindric, who had a pretty good day.
Yeah, he led
Uh,
a lot, especially through that second stage.
Chase Elliott, Suarez, Larson, Hamlin, and Gibbs are your top 12. And below the cut line are Brad Keselowski, Harrison Burton, who's having a decent day until he got caught up in the end.
And got caught up.
Truex was part of that mess at the end. And then we talked about Chase Briscoe uh, with the Larson hit. So Larson fell from like what, second to 10th because
Yeah.
of that. Yeah, ouch. That does not go well, but let's see. So your last two races in the round of 16 are Watkins Glen this week, and you've got Bristol for the first cut. That's rough.
Yeah,
That playoff, like
rough three.
I feel like when NASCAR scheduled this, it was like how we schedule racing, where it's just like, let's grab a couple beers and hey, this sounds like a terrible idea. Let's do that. That's
Next round gets a little better.
yeah, Kansas, Talladega, Roval, and then Las Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville, and then Phoenix.
Yeah, that round of eight's probably the best round.
Yeah. And Martinsville gave us the wall ride of all wall rides a few years ago, which won't happen again. But
Unfortunately, but I get it.
yeah. It's fun for that clip will be played forever. So Ross Chastain, regardless of what he does in his career, that clip will be forever in NASCAR montage history.
NASCAR use it for marketing, but it can't do it again. As like everything else.
Yep. Let's come down on these drivers for starting fights, getting in fights after the race. But let's show the clip over and over again.
Hey, we're gonna find Ricky $75,000, but then we're gonna promote it.
And then we're going to keep showing the clip of Austin Dillon wrecking Logano and whatever.
You're not in the playoffs.
Yeah. Anyway, we're back this week, Tuesday night, Phoenix Raceway for the Indy Racing World Series. And Wednesday we'll be heading to Coda. That'll be something else. We did get the setup issue figured out.
Yep.
iRacing changed the setups, but it still held the old config, which doesn't work right anymore. So if you loaded a practice with the old config, it was dragging the car on the ground. So once we reloaded with the updated settings, everything was fine. So we'll be at Coda Wednesday night, and looking forward to it.
And then we'll talk about it on this week's episode, but it's going to be a busy weekend of racing.
Yes, indeed. We got the IndyCar finale. Formula One's back with Kevin Magnussen sitting out. So we'll get into that at the end of the week on the full show. So
Sure
Racing. Yep, FRRacingOnline.com, at FRRacingOnline on social media. And thanks again for watching.
Take care.